On the eve of 9/11, retired Fire Lieutenant Michael O'Connell remembers 2001 vividly.
Just going off until the batteries died and those alarms. And those were our brothers under that pile and we couldn't get to them.
He saw many people die, but he's one of the first responders who survived. He was only 25 years old when terror struck Lower Manhattan. 6 years later, a terror of a different kind. A toll on his health doctors related to 9/11. He was 30 years old, newly married, his first child just 3 months away from birth, when he developed a rare autoimmune disease called sarcoidosis. He remembers the excruciating pain that was the early symptoms.
It was like somebody came into the room and beat me up with a baseball bat.
Data from the World Trade Center Health Program shows thousands of 9/11 survivors ended up with illnesses or injuries related to that horrific day. For years, billions in federal funds have been allocated to help survivors with medical expenses. Jon Feal, who worked in construction, volunteered to run toward the devastation on 9/11. He spent days cleaning up in the aftermath.
I was there for 5 days until 8,000 pounds of steel crushed my left foot. Spent 11 weeks in the hospital with gangrene, septic. My injury, while gruesome and horrific, pales in comparison to those who were deathly ill.
Feal and O'Connell helped pass several pieces of legislation related to 9/11 survivors and medical expenses over the past 2.5 decades, meeting 4 presidents along the way. Daily Show TV host Jon Stewart, one of their biggest supporters. Today, they're fighting to pass another bill, which would add $3 billion to the funds secured from Congress. But a major threat to their efforts, the Trump administration's cuts to the Department of Health and Human Services.
So while we're trying to concentrate on legislation, we have to keep dealing with an incompetent administration who continues to hurt a fragile fraternity of heroes and survivors.
Behind me at the 9/11 Memorial in Lower Manhattan on the eve of yet another somber anniversary, many are here paying tribute to the lives lost, while some survivors fight for their futures.
Brooklyn resident Naya Hoover was only a teenager when she watched the smoke billow out of the Twin Towers from a high-rise building across the East River.
We come to the memorial just to obviously pay our respects, but always to remember and not forget.
Matthew Cole, a firefighter from Sacramento, California, visiting the memorial, wasn't in New York on 9/11, but in losing some of his training classmates that day, the ripple effects are still felt.
We have a lot of people who should be playing with their grandkids now that are instead nursing injury and illness because they went in to try to save people or save their brothers and sisters who went in to save people. And so to not take care of them is absolutely unacceptable.
That's the sentiment behind the mission, driving O'Connell and Feal to fight for funding. At the 9/11 Memorial in Lower Manhattan, Gibran Caroline Boyce, New York City News Service.